What is going on, everybody? Taylor here. Thank you so much for checking out this video on Cheddarsoft. I am super excited to get this into your hands, and so you can try it out, check it out, implement it into your own business, and see some great results. When we set out to create Cheddarsoft 2 years ago, it was because we had two problems that we wanted to answer. Problem number one, how do we help our customers use their historical data that they had purchased from OA Cheddar lead lists, or maybe they found it on tactical arbitrage or through their own sourcing methods? How do we help them look back at their historical data efficiently and effectively? The answer was we didn't really know. I mean, we were using spreadsheets, and spreadsheets was great to deposit that data in, but when you wanted to go back and quickly pinpoint sales and filter out options, it became a nightmare. Number two, the other problem that we set out to fix is for the OA sellers who are just starting out, or maybe they're scaling their business up and they're having a hard time because they don't have the systems and processes in place to be able to handle that growth in a healthy way. There's a major difference from ordering a couple hundred items a month to a few thousand every single month. A lot more moving parts in place. And so without those systems, we were seeing sellers who were struggling to, scrambling basically, to figure out how to handle that increase. And so those are the two questions and problems that we set out to answer with Cheddarsoft, guys. And I'm excited because I think we nailed it. Not only is Cheddarsoft going to help you deposit your lead data, sort it, filter out, search specific things in your lead data to pull out replenishable items that are going to be great for you, but it also is a business in a box. It is systems and processes that you can implement. You can hire people and plug them into your business, and they're going to be successful. It helps walk you through everything from depositing your leads to ordering, creating a buy list, receiving, and shipping out those products into Amazon FBA. When we looked 2 years ago around in the software space, we had our staples, we had our inventory lab, we had our repricer, we had our keepagraphs, but there wasn't a tool out there that solved this problem, which is, how do I handle receiving all these products? How do I make the most of my data? So we set out to answer those problems and create solutions to it. I think we have. Enough talking about it. Let's go ahead and check out the software and what it can do for you and your business. So let's hop on in, and I'll see you in a bit. So I am starting off like everyone else does. I am starting with a lead list here. I have a list of items that I personally have found and that I need to upload to Cheddarsoft. So I'm going to start from my spreadsheet, and I'm just going to come up here to File, and I'm going to go to Download. I'm going to download this as a CSV or a comma separated values template. Hop over into Cheddarsoft and create my list. So I have not uploaded any leads to this account yet, so let's go ahead and name this list. Now you guys can name your list anything that you would like. We do this so that way you have the ability to separate your different sources and your different lead lists however you see fit. Once I've done that, I'm just going to click on the list and go to Add Items. As I add items, easiest way is I just grab the download that I just did from my Google spreadsheet, and I'm going to drag it, drop it right into here. Now what it's going to do is going to ask me to map out my columns. So when I'm mapping out my columns, what I'm doing is I'm telling the software here are the different columns with the different pieces of information that you need to grab and where they go. So my source URL will match my source URL, and supplier would be like my source name, because that is what the column is named on right here on my spreadsheet. So, we've built this and designed this to try to make uploading as easy as possible, because we know that this is going to be the most boring part of your day, which is uploading your lead list. So we want to make sure that we did this as efficiently as possible and as easy as possible, so that way you can do the fun stuff, which is finding profitable products and growing your business. So I'm just mapping out all the different pieces of information that I want the software to store, and these are all going to be things that I can search by, so that's super important. So try to fill up all these if you can. The ones with the asterisks are the only pieces of information that you really do need to have it work. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to set my mapping. I can see here I have a preview of all my different leads and the information from them. I'm uploading 49 items. The software checks for any errors. There's 0 with this, which is fantastic. If there was an error, it would show up red, and I could hit this edit button and change any of the details that I need to fix the error. But we don't have that problem here, so I'm just going to go ahead and upload the data. get the green light. Now I'm off to the races. So now we're going to go into smart data. Smart data is where all your leads are going to be stored. The big problem that we set out to fix when it came to Cheddarsoft is that mess that is Google Sheets. You might have, if you are a good OA buyer, you're storing all the leads that you find and get from different lead lists, and that can grow into a very large spreadsheet that is a pain in the butt to search and organize and filter out different results. So we've gone ahead and fixed that problem with smart data here. You upload your leads, they are stored inside the software, and in smart data, you can do a lot of really cool stuff, guys. You can search by different suppliers. So for instance, Nordstrom, which is going to be, there's a couple leads on this lead list I want to purchase. So I can search the word Nordstrom, and it's going to pull out anything with Nordstrom, whether it's in the title or in the supplier name, or anything like that. I can also set up a certain date range that I want to look over. I can organize all my leads by supplier, which is how I personally like to do my sourcing every single day. I'll come in here, I will sort by supplier, and I'll do A to Z. I update my filters, and now it's going to take all my leads and organize it from A to Z based off of the supplier. I can narrow down a certain date range if I wanted to do that. Just a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So back to my day. I know that there's a couple items from Nordstrom Rack that I want to look at. So I'm going to go here, type in Nordstrom, I find my leads for today. I'm going to open these leads up and do my normal checks just to make sure everything looks good and that everything checks out. So hopping over here, I can see my Duke Cannon lip balm is sold out. But the good news is, guys, I already went ahead and purchased these items earlier just for the sake of this video. So we are going to be able to purchase this. I would do my normal vetting. So I come in here and I see that I can buy this for $13.44 as a pack of 3. So I would do my normal buying or vetting. So I'm checking profit. I'm checking Keepa. This is a fast moving product, so definitely going to be buying these up. Not the best ROI, but that is okay for a product moving that quickly. I have no problem purchasing it. Coming over here to my Perfect Peach or Peach Perfect foundation. I can see here I can buy it for $17.24. $17.24 profit and ROI looks good. A little bit of a slower seller, but I'm still going to purchase this because these are all my own personal leads that I found. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 buying decisions for these 2 items right here. So hopping back over into Cheddarsoft, I'm going to come over to the Duke Cannon lead, and I'm going to hit this add to buy list button. And from here, I'm just going to communicate with my buyer and let them know, hey, I like this lead. I've checked it out. I want to buy 7 of these 3 packs. So in the order note section, I just put 3-pack. This is just me communicating to my buyer, leaving him a note. So when he goes through the buy list, he can see any notes that I've left for him. I can also do things like set my list price, my SKU, my min and max, and then I can change the actual details on the lead when it goes to buy list. Right down here below, I can add things like a coupon code if there is one. I can change, the link if I wanted to do that. All those good things. So I'm going to add to buy list, and then I got my Too Faced foundation lead. I'm going to buy 5 of those. I'm going to also add that to my buy list. It's pretty straightforward. There's no notes or anything for that one, but for the multi-packs, I like to leave notes. So again, smart data is really where the powerful part of this tool is. You can come in here and you can sort all your data, whether you have 100 leads or if you have 10,000 or even more leads, it will quickly look through. I can also set my different parameters, like if I want a certain ROI percentage, if I want a certain net profit amount, I can filter all of my results out that way as well. So let's go ahead and hop over to my buy list. Now I've added my leads and they go over into my buy list. And as my buy list grows, you will have, tons of items that you can go through. I can sort and search these. So again, if I wanted to sort by supplier and organize everything so I can make the most of each order that I place from a supplier and buy all the items in one single order instead of breaking it up into multiples, I can. I can search the buy list for a certain item if I need to do that, however I need to. So you can see here, I have my product notes. I'm buying 3 packs of this, and I'm buying 7 3-packs of this Duke Cannon lead. And I've got 5 of the Too Faced foundation. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause. I'm going to pull up my invoice from the supplier so we can go ahead and do the next part, which is recording the order and using the buy cost calculator to record the order effectively, efficiently, and accurately. So I'll see y'all in a second. Welcome back, everybody. So I have placed my order with Nordstrom Rack and I am looking at my confirmation email. And so the next step for me is to take these items from the buy list and record a brand new order. So I'm going to hop back over to Cheddarsoft into the buy list. I'm going to select the items that I want to add to this order. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hit create new order. And what that's going to do, that's going to take me to the buy cost calculator. Now the buy cost calculator was designed because we found that we took most of our time doing the math to figure out what the true buy cost was for an item. And what I mean by true buy cost is I mean, what did I pay for this item, including any shipping or any tax? Did I use a discounted gift card or a reward gift card? Do I need to factor that in? All that kind of stuff that really just took up a bunch of time and then also made getting accurate numbers a little bit of a challenge because if our math wasn't correct, we had to try to figure out what was wrong. So we've gone ahead and created this buy cost calculator to make that part of our business super simple, saving a whole bunch of time. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to hop over here to my email, and the first thing I'm going to grab is my order number. And I'm going to drop that order number into the order ID section. The source has already been figured out for me because it's coming from the lead, and the software knows where I'm buying these items. Then what it's going to do is it's going to show me those two items, the ASINs as well, and it's going to show me my breakdown based off of what was on my buy list. So I'm buying 7 of these 3 packs. They should be $13.44, and then I'm buying 5 of these foundations, and each one should be $17.24. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to look over my order, make sure that those numbers are correct, and see if maybe I overpaid for any reason. So $17.24 for the foundation, that is indeed a match. And then also for the lip balm, $4.48. I need to times that by 3. So I need to do a little bit of simple math just to make sure that those numbers line up. And they in fact do. $13.44 would be the cost of each one of these 3 packs if I wasn't paying anything in tax or anything like that. The other way I can go about doing this is the total buy cost. So if I got my order confirmation and it was itemized based off of each individual SKU's grand total, I could go about that route. But my invoice isn't like that. So what I really need to do now is I need to go ahead and come over to my order totals, and I need to add in my sales tax because I did pay sales tax. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that sales tax, which is $14.96. I'm going to drop that into my sales tax portion, and then watch these numbers. When I click away from that box, they're going to change. And now they've changed to reflect the amount of tax that I paid broken up amongst each individual item. And as you can see here, it tells me a sales tax rate, which just helps me confirm that this is the correct number. So 8.3% is my sales tax rate here in Washington State. My subtotal and then my grand total of 180.28 and 195.24. If I come over here, I can see 180.28 is my subtotal and 195.24 is my grand total. So I know that those numbers match up and are good. And so at this point now, all I need to do is fill out the rest of this form. My date ordered was actually on the 5th, and my status is ordered. I used our American Express to make this purchase, and I used Rakuten as my cashback source, and I got 1% cash back when I made that purchase. If I had any order notes, I could put them in here, but I really don't because everything's pretty straightforward with this order. If I had any discounts that came, so maybe I found I had a $10 off coupon code that I got emailed to me, or maybe a $10 gift card that was that came from reward points, I could enter that kind of information in here as well. I didn't pay anything for shipping, so I'm good. Once I've added in these numbers, I go ahead and hit apply and go to order. When I hit apply and go to order, you'll see a breakdown of the order, each individual item, the amount that you purchased, all your numbers up here. And really, there's not really much else you need to do here until you actually receive the products and need to check them in and get them ready for FBA. So at this point in the buying process, I am done. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break for a second right here. We're gonna come back and we are going to receive our products and we're going, just like as if we received our box from Nordstrom Rack, and we are going to check those products in and get them ready for Amazon FBA. Welcome back, everybody. So I have received my order from Nordstrom Rack, and now I am ready to check that item in, or those items in, and get them ready for FBA. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here into shipping, and in shipping, I'm going to go ahead and create a new batch. And out of that new batch, I'm going to give it a name. I like to give today's date as my name. So we're going to do February 10th, 2022. I can also add the date right here as well. I can specify what marketplace, add a tracking number if I'd like to do that. But I don't need to do any of those things. We just gave that to you guys in case you would want to put that information in. Once I am done creating this batch, I'm going to hit save. And you can see that this batch has a status of open and is ready to receive items. So from there, I'm going to go back over to my orders. And in my orders, I can see that I have my Nordstrom Rack order. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I'm going to start receiving my products. So if everything checks out, I'm going to come over here to the Duke Cannon lead. And I'm going to hit create event. From create event, I'm going to say ship to FBA because I received everything. Everything looked good. I'm ready to go. And I can see that my shipping batch has automatically been entered in here. If I had multiple shipping batches, I can select which one I want to add this product to. I've received all 7 items, so I'm going to hit 7 there. And then under the QC check, we added this in so that way we wanted to create systems with this software so that way you could implement those same systems into your business and have success. So this is great if you have a shipper that you want them to just do a few verification steps before adding the products to your inventory. So things like, does the UPC match? Is the title a match? Does the image match the actual product that you have in your hand? And does the description match from the Amazon listing to the product that you have received? If all those get checked, your little box turns green, letting you know that you're good to go. Now, expiration date. Something like a lip balm is going to have an expiration date. And so say I tried setting my expiration date to April 10th. Now, April 10th would be too soon, so you're going to get a warning letting you know, hey, you're sending this product in and it's too late to sell it via FBA. You need to have more time. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is most likely my lip balm's not going to have an expiration date that's only a couple months old. I'm going to go out to like November 10th, just as an example. So I'm setting my expiration date. That information is going to be uploaded into Inventory Lab, so that way it's already being recorded as I check it in. ASIN override, I actually had the UPC match the ASIN, so I don't need to replace that ASIN with a new one. But say you did receive this product, realize that the UPC pulled up a different listing. You didn't want to do that. You wanted to list it on the UPC match listing. You can just put that ASIN right there as well as the title. Conditions always set to new. UPC override. If I'm entering in the UPC for the first time, this is where I will do it. So I would just have, random string of numbers for my UPC. I can create my SKU, and I'm going to do a very basic SKU here, but we're going to say Duke 3-pack blood orange, because that's the flavor of it. And we're going to do Nordstrom rack.c. and we'll do the buy cost of $14.56. Next, I'll need to set my list price. I like to set my list price in higher than what I am the product is currently selling for. That allows my repricer to take into effect and make price changes for me. And I'm not going to take the risk of selling my product for too little. So 25 is basically where it's at right now. Doesn't really look like it ever sells for more than around 25. So I'm going to go ahead and put $30 in for my list price. And that is just how we do ours. So that way, when we set our minimum and maximum prices and set up our repricer, we can. I could add the min and max in there as well if I wanted to record that information, making it easier to reprice. But currently, we are not doing that in our own business. So as you can see, when I save that event, my event log shows me that I have shipped out 7 3-packs of this ASIN, the date that I shipped it out. And then you can also see here that I have a couple extra numbers here. I have ordered, received, and shipped. So this is telling me that I ordered 7, I received all 7, and I shipped out all 7. I also have the UPC and the MSKU that pop up here, so I can easily see that. Now let's talk about our foundations. So in our foundations, we actually had 2 that came in and they were damaged. So I'm actually going to return those for a refund. So I'm going to go ahead and hit return for a refund. And I'm going to tell them that we're sending in 2 items back to Nordstrom Rack for a refund. This has not been refunded yet because I'm in the process of returning it. My expected return would be $18.67 times 2. And if I check the math on my calculator real quick, 1867 times 2, I should be expecting a refund of $37.34. I'm going to leave this blank because that is meant for when I come back and reconcile this item. If there is a tracking number associated with the return, so say Nordstrom Rack gave me a prepaid shipping label, I could put that tracking number in here. So again, I have the records of that tracking number, so I can look that back up if I ever need to prove that I did return the item. Supplier notes and additional notes. For additional notes, this is where your shipper can put some explanations of why they're returning it. 2 arrived damaged. Change that. 2 arrived damaged. And then in our own business, we like to put our names to each one of our notes. That way we know who left the note. So I'm going to put my initials. And then from there, I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. As I do that, it's saying that you have ordered 5. You haven't received any technically yet because you had 2 that were errors, and you are returning those errors for a refund. And you can see that here in your event log. But the other 3 did come in correct, so I'm going to go ahead and ship those 3 into Amazon FBA. Go ahead and select my QC, or I could just hit check all. No expiration date on these bad boys. Nothing. I don't need to change the ASIN or the title. Everything matched up. Again, we're going to be putting in a UPC code. Full disclosure, I actually haven't received these products yet. I just wanted to show you how this system works. So Too Faced, and do another SKU. We're going to do warm sand. 48. And we're going to do Nordstrom Rack, and our buy cost of $18.67. My list price, again, I'm going to go ahead and open up the Amazon listing. I always send them in higher than what I do. So looks like if I sent this in for 35, odds are I'm not going to sell it before my repricer has a chance to do its magic. So from there, I'm not setting my min and my max for this order. I'm just going to hit save. And then now you will see that, again, I've added a new shipping event, and I sent in this ASIN. I sent in 3 of them for Amazon FBA. From there, I'm good to go, but if I want to, but I'm actually going to change this status to reconcile. And what that does is that's going to tell myself and the rest of my team that, hey, this order still needs to be touched on. We need to confirm that we got the refund for this return. So I used a reconcile status to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then from there, if I were to go back to my orders, you will see here that I have this order is in the reconcile status. I've ordered 10, I received 10 and shipped out those 10 to FBA, and I have 2 items that are in error status. They were returned for a refund or anything like that. So we're good there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into shipping, and in my shipping batch, I will see that I have these 10 items here. I'm going to open up that shipping batch, and I can actually see the items that I'm sending in and the quantity that I'm sending in, as well as all my other information. And once I am done with my day, normally the shipping batch would be a lot longer with a ton of different items. But once I'm finished, I'm going to hit export. And when I export this, it is going to download a CSV file to Excel. And I can take that same file and upload it into Inventory Lab. and create my shipping batch right then and there. It's already going to have all my costs, all my list price, my expiration dates, everything that Inventory Lab needs to know for it to go ahead and move to the next step of the process, submit it to Amazon, print out my labels, label my products, and finish out my shipping process. So that does it. That is what a normal operation looks like for an OA buyer or OA seller inside of Cheddarsoft. We start from uploading our lists into Cheddarsoft, using smart data to find these profitable products, whether it is from my own lead lists from that day, or if I'm looking back at historical stuff or targeting a certain sale. For instance, if there's a 20% off sale at Walgreens, I would be able to come in here, type in Walgreens, and search that site up, search that site for that 20% off. I can get really technical with this, and there'll be other videos in the future that will go into the smart data and every part of this software in much greater detail. I just wanted to come out and show you guys kind of what this looks like, how it can help you. We've already heard great reviews from our current users who are saving tons of time. They're finding products that they wouldn't normally have gone back and repurchased, and that is all because of smart data and how easy it is for you to flex the data that you've already paid for or that you have already found. Other than that, guys, I hope you found this video was helpful. I will see you all on the next one.